Hello, my name is Cody, and today I will be discussing the Scopes trial. The fundamentalist-modernist controversy was a huge divide within the Presbyterian Church during the 1920s and 1930s. It occurred as a result of disputes over the role of scripture and scientific theory within the classroom. The fundamentalists argued that each principle taught in the Bible was valid and reliable and should be followed without question. The Bible took priority over the development of scientific knowledge. On the other hand, the modernists believed in new ideas like Darwin's theory of evolution and other scientific discoveries of the modern day, like the theory of continental drift, the discovery of atomic structure, and the Big Bang Theory. I do want to note that the Big Bang Theory was introduced in 1927, 2 years following the trial, but in the general scheme of the controversy, it was likely to play a role. So, the Scopes trial. In March of 1925, the state of Tennessee passed the Butler Act, a law prohibiting teaching that denied the story of divine creation as taught by the Bible, and to teach instead that man was descended from a lower order of animals in all state funded schools. So it was saying that you can only teach what has been written in the Bible. John Scopes, a 24-year-old science teacher in Dayton, Tennessee, taught a chapter from George William Hunter's Civic Biology, which described the theory of evolution and eugenics. Eugenics is the idea that species share common ancestors. This eventually led to the Scopes trial. The American Civil Liberties Union was an organization dedicated to defending the rights of individuals as expressed in the Constitution, and they offered to defend John Scopes during the infamous monkey trial, as it earned its name. On the other side of the argument was William Jennings Bryan, a lawyer and politician from Tennessee that argued for prosecution. In an article written by the New York Times, published on July 8th, 1925, Bryan stated that this trial was a contest of Christianity and evolution and was a duel to the death, and that if the side of evolution wins, Christianity will die. In an article published 2 weeks later in Alaska, the Chilkoot Post stated that this trial was not against evolution, but rather a trial for the preservation of tolerance. Scopes was eventually found guilty, but the verdict was later overturned, and the Butler Act remained in place and was deemed constitutional until May 18th, 1967. I chose this topic today because it's something that just sparked my interest. I grew up in a fairly liberal state. So, in the schools I grew up in, we were taught the theory of evolution, and we were also taught what, in not a super religious context, but we were also taught the idea that man was created from a higher being or from a higher order. When I was reading the assignment description, I was like, oh, I don't want to take something, just generic and easy to find. But as I began to research this, it did get a lot more interesting. I think perhaps because I have a little bit more tie to it. I don't know. But it did interest me. And thank you for popping in and watching my video today.